What is up, Austin? Woo! Clap it up. Let me hear y'all. Okay, the last session of the day, I need y'all to keep that energy going for me. What's up, Austin? Woo! All right, I got to find this clicker so I can take y'all through my PowerPoint here. 1 second. All right, I am Danina Battle. I'm so grateful that you guys came today to join me for my presentation, for my workshop. And let's get started. So the title of this workshop is Let's Play in the Dirt. And we are addressing social determinants of health, one garden at a time. Just a little bit about myself. I am a community health worker, and I have been working in service of my community since 2002. I'm going to get a mic because I like to walk around. 1 second. All right, can you hear me? Okay, great. A little bit about me. I am a community health worker, and I've been working in service of my community since 2002. I currently serve as the community health worker manager for the Sickle Cell Foundation of Georgia, Incorporated. And so I work with individuals living with sickle cell and their caregivers, and I work to provide resources for their families. I also serve as a nationally recognized leader with the National Association of Community Health Workers. Woo! And I've been doing that since 2020, or the end of 2019, and really seriously since 2020, January 2020. I also serve as the ambassador for the Georgia CHW Network, and I currently volunteer as a trainer for the Georgia Civic Leadership, Georgia Advocacy and Leadership Engagement community trainings with Georgia Watch. So we do a lot with policy and access, with legislation at the Capitol in Georgia. So I'm learning a lot about that process as well. And I'm currently spearheading a CHW-led community garden pilot program, which is what I'm presenting on today, that was sponsored by NACHWA. I train a total of, I am currently training a total of 6 CHWs for this program. And I'm also a single mother of 3, 2 boys, Donovan, age 17, King, age 14, and my daughter, her name is Mecca, she's 13. And sometimes I'm in my mind like, how am I doing all of this and still keeping my sanity, right? I don't know. But I figure it out nonetheless. So what's going on nationally that sparked my interest and an interest in general in this particular pilot program? Well, the White House conducted a meeting about 50 years ago surrounding hunger and nutrition, addressing hunger and nutrition nationally. That's throughout the United States, and with an effort to put strategies in place to address those issues, and to also figure out a way to quote unquote end it. And so since that meeting, nothing really has been done to address those issues. Some things have been put in place, such as the SNAP program. They have put fresh fruits and vegetable programs in place. But now the White House has listened to our cry out, and not my cry out specifically, but the cry out of the community to implement more programs, educational programs, more opportunities for access so that the members of the community can gain access to fresh fruits and vegetables and learn how to grow and cultivate their own sustainable food source, which is what my pilot is related to personally. So So the national strategy to fighting nutritional deficiencies and hunger in communities nationally by improving food access and affordability, integrating nutrition and health, empowering all consumers to make and have access to healthy choices, supporting physical activity for all, enhancing nutrition and food security research. That executive summary that was given by President Biden in 2021 is located online if you want to view that. I wish I could click on the link, but I can't. So, but I have the website information towards the end of the PowerPoint that you'll be able to take advantage of, so you can read that national strategy on hunger and nutrition and health when you get a chance in your due time. So, can anyone tell me the leading cause of nutritional deficiencies? Anyone? It's more than one, but okay, poverty. What else? Lack of access. What else? Food deserts. That's a great one. Food swamps. Yes, no one talks about that really. What's a food swamp? Can you tell me what a food swamp? You can have that mic right there. Come on, get up and tell me what a food swamp is. I don't know, girl. You gotta educate me right here. Oh, okay. See that mic right there? Oh, you know it's one. Yeah, either one. What's a food swamp?
So, food swamps are areas that are compacted with food that is nutritionally dense or just like fatty foods. So, areas that have lots of fast food restaurants, areas that have no groceries, not only no grocery stores, but stores that only sell non nutritious foods. So, your just corner stores and a bunch of fast food restaurants.
Okay, so it's kind of like a food desert, but there's a heavier concentration of those undesirable, I would say, stores that don't offer access to nutritional, fresh fruits and vegetables and healthy choices in terms of eating. Correct? Right. Okay, I think I got it. I learn something new every day, y'all. And then the food desert is, who knows what food desert is? Same thing. We just repeated it. It's kind of like the opposite, or a lower, like a downgrade from the swamp. Okay, we can downgrade it from the swamp. So food insecurities. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and so this data here, provided by United Way of Central Georgia, is a combination of data gathered just for the central region of Georgia. And so let's take a look into Central Georgia. You got 17.7% of people in Central Georgia are food insecure. Can anyone tell me what food insecurity is or what it means to be food insecure? What's that? Not enough food to last until the end of the week, or not enough food to last till the end of the paycheck? Or maybe you got to choose between going to the grocery store and paying your car note. Or maybe you got to choose between going to the grocery store to buy nutritional foods or paying your rent. Like, who wants to be in that situation? So that's definitely a great example of food insecurity. Thank you. And so that means that 17.7% of individuals in Central Georgia are food insecure. That means that 95,800 people are unsure where they will receive their next meal or where it will come from. Not only are they unsure, but they're unsure of the nutritional value of the food that they're actually going to get, right? And so what is food insecurity composed of? The availability, the affordability, accessibility of food for an individual. Okay? And just take in consideration our children, which are very important individuals, our children, our adults, of course, and also our aged adults. Let's not forget our seniors. They work tirelessly throughout their lives. And in the state of Georgia, many of them who are on fixed income, that is Social Security, disability, some of them are on Social Security retirement, and they don't receive an additional pension plan or any type of, they don't have any type of retirement benefits saved up. So they have to rely on SNAP benefits, right? And because of that, the amount that they are allotted every month is between $15 and $20. I kid you not. So let's just say, for instance, I have a senior that's 67 years old, and she doesn't have any type of retirement income. She's only living off government provided Social Security disability or Social Security retirement. So she only gets about $9.60 a month. And the amount of food stamps that she would qualify for literally would be $30. With inflation as high as it is, she probably, with $30, what can she get? Maybe some eggs, maybe a loaf of bread and some milk. Maybe about 4 items. And if it's just her, that may last for the week. If it's her, a spouse, maybe a grandchild, that's not going to last the week. So it's not enough to sustain a proper nutritional diet. So Central Georgia has an annual food budget shortfall of $47,298,000. Okay. So what are the benefits of sourcing locally grown fresh fruits and vegetables? Is anyone here familiar with community gardening? Or does anyone, what's your experience? You want to talk to me on the mic? Come on, when you come up to the mic, guys, you got to state your name. I want to know where you're from and give me all the good stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, my name is Wendy.
Hey, Wendy.
Hi. I work for Texas A&M's diabetes program now. I just got my bachelor's degree in
Congratulations.
public health. Thank you.
Clap it up for Wendy.
About to start my master's program, so y'all pray for me.
I'm praying. Congratulations.
But now, part of my internship for my undergraduate work, I focused on food insecurity. Mm-hmm. So I applied for a grant through Whole Foods, Whole Kids Foundation, and we started a community garden at our university.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
And we also built worked with our campus administration to build a collaboration with our local food bank to start a food pantry on our campus as well.
That's amazing. So are you working with the community garden on your campus? Is that for children or just for anyone? Do you have classes?
It is for our students, our college students, okay. And they come in as part of their. We've connected it to their freshman orientation class, their UNIV course, and so it's part of their course that they have to go out there and spend X amount of hours to get credit for this course tending the garden.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. That's amazing. We got to see more of that.
And I'm going to give a shout out to Central Georgia because I used to live there.
Okay, shout out to Central
Warner
Georgia.
Robins.
Warner Robins in the house. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anyone else want to share? Good. Okay, so benefits of sourcing locally grown fresh fruits and vegetables. It builds a community locally. Oh, we got somebody in the back who want to share. Thank you so much for coming on up. Come on down. What's your name? Where you from?
My name is Rosie Bailey. I'm from Florida.
Nice to meet you, Rosie.
Thank you. And I became a gardener years ago in Wisconsin. There's a program called the Master Gardener Program, and it's through the local extension office, and they teach you everything you need to know about gardening. And as a result, you volunteer in the community. So I became a certified master gardener in Florida and in Wisconsin as well. One of the projects, we helped Hispanic women grow fruits and vegetables on vacant city lots and then sell that produce to the local farmers market. That was one of the projects that I worked with.
That's amazing. So question, when you guys sell that produce to the local farmers market, how do you reinvest that farm into what it is that you're doing? How do you reinvest those funds, into what it is that you're doing?
It went into the garden to buy the seeds, to buy the plants. We invited the local neighborhood to participate and have some of the raised beds. So it was not only for the women that were working the garden, but it was also for the community. And so it went for supplies and things of that nature.
That's amazing. Oh, man, you guys built unity in the community. Let's clap it up. Okay. And guess what else? Locally grown food, it tastes better, right? It tastes better. Like, I can definitely tell the difference in the quality of the taste of the food. Yes, ma'am. Come on up.
Hi, my name is Jan, and I'm from St. Louis. I'm a community health worker, but I wanted to explain. I volunteered for Community Garden in East St. Louis, and what I found really rewarding about it is that they allowed the families to choose their raised bed, plant the seeds, and watch them grow, and so they took ownership of that, and that really, because it taught the kids about gardening.
Absolutely. It definitely teaches the children. It gets them involved, and you know what? They love it. They love to go out there and be able to put a little seed in the ground, and then they come out there a week or so later, and they see a little sprout, and they're like, look, Mommy, look that,
But it also introduced them to vegetables they may never have been introduced to because
Absolutely.
It was a food desert
Yes.
in that area.
Yes,
so
yes.
It was great. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else care to share? I got this light in my face, so I can't really see who's coming up, so. Okay. All right, so benefits of sourcing locally grown fresh fruits and vegetables provides support for families, right? Not only does it provide support for the family nutritionally, but it also, the family gets to come out and get exercise. It provides, it fosters a sense of pride that you are growing something nutritious for yourself, not only for yourself, but to feed your family. It's a good feeling knowing that you bring fresh fruits and vegetables home that you grew with your own hands to feed your family. And it's good. Okay? It's either free because you're growing it in your community garden. You got a raised bed. You're growing it in your community garden. It's free. And so, or it's reasonably priced. So when you support locally grown farmers markets and individuals that have local farms and local gardens that provide fresh fruits and vegetables at local markets, they tend to price it lower to make it more affordable for individuals in the community to take advantage of, rather than going to a bigger farmers market or taking advantage of those items at a grocery store like Publix or Walmart. Yes, sir. Come on up. What's your name? Where you from?
Hi, everyone. My name is Harvard. I'm from Massachusetts.
Hey, Harvard.
Hi. I wanted to say first off, I'm really excited about this initiative and really happy to be here. I wanted to share something that I'm trying to do in my state right now that I think kind of sings to what you're talking about. I'm rehabbing a farm, and I have this vision to work with individuals in a community who are suffering or dealing with lived experience in substance use and mental health disorders.
That's amazing.
And offering them an opportunity to use the green space to grow what they want for healthier living and to do microfinancing for themselves. And if they don't want the fruits and vegetables, then they can give it back to the community. So I'm just looking to hear any best practices or resources you might have for that.
Absolutely. Also, can you give me some I heard the population that you're assisting, and I want you to give me some information on what are the mental health benefits for your population that you have involved in what it is that you're doing.
Sure. So the dual population would be either individuals who have addiction and or lived experience with chronic mental health conditions. So chronic depression, anxiety, and or just having difficulty expressing themselves within their environment. So the benefit would be to literally get your hands and feet dirty, to experience the earth between your fingers, and to see the product of your efforts through the fruits and vegetables that they speak a language,
Absolutely.
yet you have to learn what that language is, and by investing in that, then you can invest in yourself.
Absolutely. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Clap it up, please. He went there. Growing your own fresh fruits and vegetables definitely foster a sense of, not only a sense of pride, but it builds your confidence. It helps to build your self-esteem. It connects you with the earth. The earth grounds you. It keeps it keeps you mentally grounded, physically grounded, grounded energetically, and emotionally grounded. The more you go out there, it's therapeutic almost. I can't speak for everyone, but I can definitely speak for myself. That is definitely therapy for me. And all of these community health workers that I have trained in my program have said the exact same thing. I feel so calm when I'm out here. It's so relaxing. It's so therapeutic. They get lost in what it is that they're doing. And it's so beneficial mentally. So thank you for that. Benefits of sourcing locally grown fresh fruits and vegetables. Taking advantage of the land also preserves wildlife and open land areas allocated to local farmers and local productions. So that the land that's being used is used productively, and it preserves the land. And so it allows for that land to be used to, of course, grow fresh fruits and vegetables. And so it's not cut down for industrial purposes or to build on it. And so it's preserving the land as well. Growing your own sustainable food source, it improves access to fresh fruits and vegetables. If you do it yourself, then you're less likely to have to go to the grocery store to get it. You're less likely to have to go to the farmer's market to get it. And it's free for you if you grow it yourself. So what comes along with that, we're actually learning how to grow it. So you have to put yourself in position to learn how to do it and do it effectively and be able to replicate the process over and over. It's pretty easy once you get into a groove. It's easy. Once you get into a groove and you grow your first vegetable and you reap your first harvest, after that it gets into a groove, and it pretty much just produces over and over again for you. Again, it saves money on groceries. It improves your health and the health of your family. It gives you a lot of physical exercise. So if you're looking to get fit, lose weight, or you just want to be a little bit more mobile with your body, it's good to go out there. It will definitely give you good exercise, and it's always good to get ample amount of sun to increase your levels of vitamin D, vitamin D3. Also, you want to make sure if you go out there, you put on your sunscreen so you don't burn your skin if you're in hot weather like we have here in Austin, Texas. The other day it was like, 104 degrees? That was really hot. When the wind blows here, it's not cool. It's hot. It's hot wind blowing. Again, growing your own sustainable food source builds a sense of pride, and it also reduces food waste, believe it or not. It also improves the health of the community. It gets community members involved. They want to learn more. They want to learn how to grow. They're interested in living a healthier lifestyle. They're interested in eating healthy, and they want their families to be healthy. A lot of them lack the knowledge of how to do so, though. So the community gardening aspect of it is very, very vital, and it's an important piece to have in the community, because not only does it brings the community together, but it adds that educational piece onto gardening, teaching people how to garden, teaching people when to grow the vegetables and fruits that they love to eat, right? Teaching them how to cultivate it, teaching them how to sustain with it. teaching them how to preserve it if they grow overabundance. If you are a grower, like myself, when you grow tomatoes, you grow one tomato plant will produce, 30, 40 tomatoes, even more, depending on how, if you trellis it or how it's growing up. And so that may be too much for one family. So learning how to can, learning canning procedures, learning how to pickle, learning how to preserve, all those are educational tools that can be taught to community members that are a part of community gardening, so that they can then turn around and say, well, you know what, I got an overabundance of tomatoes. I can share some with my neighbor, and then, or other community members, or someone else in a garden. We can swap out what we have, and I can take some of what they got. They can get some of my tomatoes. And then whatever I have left over that I can't eat all in a week, I learn how to save it. I learn how to preserve it. And so if I need it later, I can take it out, and it still has that same nutritional value and added benefit to my meals, and so forth and so on. It also improved the health of the economy, improved the health of the local economy, local food economies. So that means that it keeps local farmers, local gardeners employed and making a sustainable income for their families when you support locally grown food, or locally growers. Local growers, when you support local growers, it keeps income coming into their pockets and into their homes to support their families. And it also encourages community engagement through access and education, and everybody learns collectively, right? How can you get involved in your community? You can locate the local universities supported through the extension office for your state to find out where the local community gardens are located so that you can meet new people. So if you're looking to get involved into something like this, you visit you can visit your local UGA. Well, for Georgia, it's UGA Extension, but there's an extension office in every state, and that extension office will give you the locations of all the universities and the locations of the community gardens that you can take part of that may be closest to you. Okay, you can go there, you can network, you can meet new people, you can volunteer. If there's a community garden available, you can, most of them have community beds, garden beds that you can purchase for the year. I know in Georgia, depending on the size of the bed that you want, you can purchase it like $35, $40, and you can have it for the whole season, like from January to December, right? You can also visit USDA.gov to get more information on agriculture in your state, farmland, and opportunities available to new farmers or individuals interested in being a producer of fresh fruits and vegetables in the community. There are so many grants available and funding available for people that are interested in just doing the work. And also, last but not least, volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. And I say that because that's the best way to learn how to do anything, is to volunteer. You meet new people all the time. You build your network. You learn every time you go and volunteer. And you'll be surprised at what you'll be able to do after so long of volunteering. So that's a very important aspect of getting involved into a pilot such as this one. And then just getting involved into maybe opening up your own community garden one day for your community. So let's get into my pilot program that I want to talk about. And so my program was created with community health workers in mind. Of course, I am a community health worker. I've been working in nonprofit since 2002 as a community health worker, under the title community health worker since 2019. However, I've been doing the work of one since way back when. Oh my gosh, I never knew it. I just was working under a different title. So anyway, community health workers are the boots on the ground, and we provide direct services to clients and communities that we serve. We are the link to community resources, community advocacy, at the local, state, and federal level. Through lived experience, we are trusted members in the community. We're making it easier to provide services, identify improvements that need to be made to the community to improve health of the community. Okay? So I want to get community health workers involved so that they can learn the process of growing and cultivating their own sustainable food source. So a lot of community health workers are underpaid. Many of us don't receive a livable wage. And so with that being said, we're in the same position, some of us, of the families and communities that we serve. But we have such a passion for our community that we still go out and try and find those resources for those individuals. Not only that, but most of us take advantage of those same resources, right? But we like to be a blessing to others, so that's what we do. So this pilot program is created with CHWs in mind to teach them the skill so that they can not only grow fresh fruits and vegetables for their families, but then take that same knowledge, take that same information, that same new experience that they now have back to those same communities that they serve and create and cultivate this same routine over and over again. So it's like a CHW, I relate it to a seed, right? You plant a CHW in a community, and we're a seed that's planted, and it helps the community to grow through the services that we provide. So if we can get as many community health workers involved, then we could take this same skill back to the community and help more people to learn how to learn this skill of gardening, growing, and cultivating their own sustainable food source. So I want to introduce my community health workers that were involved, and they had really, really good success. None of them knew how to grow anything, okay, before they joined my program, my pilot program. Nobody had a green thumb. And let me not be the pot calling the kettle black, because a year ago, anything I touched would have turned brown, okay? Nothing was green. I killed the easiest plant. What's the easiest plant to grow?
Snake plant.
What is it?
Snake plant.
A snake? Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I killed a snake plant, y'all. It died. And I was like, how do you kill a snake plant? It's like the easiest plant. You can leave it alone for days, hours, weeks, and it'll still grow. Nuh-uh. My snake plant died. But anyway, so I want to introduce you to Tracy Carter. Tracy Carter is a community health worker with Centene. Centene is, I think, one of the Medicaid providers under Peach State in Atlanta. And so she works for Centene. And she showed interest in the pilot program, and she did a phenomenal job. So here's just some pictures of where Tracy started when she got her garden bed. Also, in the pilot program, all of the CHWs had their own raised garden bed. And so they all had the task of maintaining their garden bed inside and outside. And so I gave them directions on how to prune, how to pick weeds, how to pick out grass seed, what it looks like, how to identify different bugs and things like that. So they learned quite a bit through direct hands-on experience, which I appreciate most. So Tracy started with a dry bed of soil, and she originally planted cucumbers, carrots, lettuce, and she had some basil and some cilantro. So out of her bed, she was able to get some carrots, some cilantro, and some lettuce. So I wanted to show you guys that and highlight Tracy. She did a phenomenal job. And I don't know what she made. I tried to ask her what she made, but she didn't return. I guess she was too busy eating her food that she had grown. She didn't hit me back. But so on to the next person. Here's Cindy. Cindy is also a participant in my program. She was able to grow and cultivate chard, and she has some cucumbers here that she was able to grow and cultivate. And she also has some tomato. I didn't put her pictures of tomatoes, but she has some tomatoes that she has growing that are almost ready for harvest. Very proud of Cindy. They came out regularly to check on their garden, on their raised garden bed, and to maintenance it. Here's another one of my wonderful CHWs. Her name is Adrienne Proler. Oh, let me go back to Cindy. Cindy is a community health worker with Morehouse School of Medicine. I didn't introduce her that way, but she's a new CHW. She's never done CHW work before, so she's new to the profession, and she wanted to take advantage of this opportunity with me, and I'm so glad that she did. I got to learn a lot about her. Adrienne Proler, been a CHW with the Morehouse School of Medicine. She decided to grow asparagus, and she had one little zucchini plant. And that little zucchini plant she had on the side of her bed, it has produced so many zucchinis, and I was so excited. If you see that picture down in the lower left-hand corner where she's holding up her zucchinis, and she has some chard that she got from Cindy, along with some, I guess that's diced peppers and onions. She made a whole sauteed meal, and I was trying to be on the way, but I was like, hey, where you at? Can I come and get a plate? She did a very great job at maintaining her garden bed. She showed it lots of attention, lots of love, and she definitely learned a lot about how to cultivate and grow her own sustainable food source. So I'm very proud of Adrienne Proler. Sabrina Mobley Frazier is another one of my community health workers is participating. Now, all of these vegetables were grown during the first half of the growing season, so that is January through July. So the next growing season will be in Georgia, so we're in Zone 8A. So that's one thing you got to pay attention to, are the growing zones throughout the United States, so you'll know when and what you can grow. So these vegetables were grown during basically spring and summer months. So we call her the squash lady because, baby, she had squash galore. She grew wonder peppers, squash, tomatoes, and some chard. So, but her squash took over. Okay, her squash took over, and so she was just producing squash that whole season. I was able to take some home with me, and I made a couple of sauteed dishes for myself and my children. And this is me. So I was able to grow and cultivate some red scarlet kale. I got some lettuce there. I also grew some okra. And then you'll see I have a bed that I have of sugar baby watermelon. And I also am growing honeydew melons. So that's fun to see my melons grow. And so, involving the community members is a very important part of my pilot program. So not only am I working towards training the CHWs to learn how to grow and cultivate their own sustainable food source, but I want to involve the community members as well. So those community members that want to come in and learn what the community health workers are learning, they're most welcome to come. If they want a garden bed, they're most welcome to come in and get a garden bed. And here we have an elder in a community named Ron Allen. He's a senior community member. Ron has some health challenges, but he wanted to learn how to grow and cultivate his own sustainable food source, and also have readily available access to nutritional food sources that he likes to eat. So I said, okay, Ron, well, you sure you ready to learn how to grow veggies? And he was like, well, yeah. So we sponsored him 2 raised beds in the back of his home that he can use to start the growing process in his own backyard. So I am working with Ron to teach him what he needs to know to grow the vegetables that he loves to eat. And it was such a great time we had putting together his raised garden beds. Anyone have any questions for me so far? As we're moving along through the presentation, I'm just giving you some basic information and just some pictures to show you everything that we've done and the fun that we've had playing in the dirt and getting to know each other and just building unity in the community amongst CHWs and then also amongst community members. This picture at the top left, this is Richard Chappelle. He is a 6th-generation farmer, a master gardener, and a retired military veteran. Mr. Chappelle knows a whole lot of everything about farming, about gardening. He has his own farm called Moby's Farms. He also heavily works with the UGA Extension in Georgia. He works heavily with the community garden where I have my raised beds. Well, my raised beds as well as the community health workers have their raised beds. And down at the bottom, you'll see a picture of us, myself, the community health workers, and then some volunteers from Food Well Alliance that assisted us with renovating that garden and getting everything ready to invite. We got some new what's it call it? A&Rs. I'm not sure. We got new A&Rs for the UGA Extension office for Fulton County, and so we had to have volunteers come out to help us renovate that garden, and we did such a great job. And then here's some links to remember. So if you would like to read the executive summary, you can just pretty much, I can't click on the links, so I was hoping I would be able to, but you Google the Biden-Harris administration national strategy on hunger so you can read the executive summary and then the full document if you like. And then here is also a link for a college partner directory, and this will give you a list of the National Institute of Food and Agriculture and also give you a list of the extension offices per state, okay? So if you want to get involved, you'll look for your extension office per your state. And then also you can read the entire document of the White House National Strategy on Hunger, Nutrition, and Health at whitehouse.gov. And then I had listed 5 reasons why you should celebrate Farm to School Month throughout the year. Does anyone have any questions for me so far? Yes. If you would, come on up. State your name, where you're from.
This is a little intimidating. I come from the island of Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico has a very big diversity. You can live in the city, you can live up in the mountains, like I like to say. I live in the mountains. I find it more calm, more peaceful. There's a lot more trees and a lot more breeze, and it's close to the rivers. And I basically, bought my first home like a year ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And one thing that I've been focusing on is learning how to, grow fruits and vegetables, because at least my home was abandoned for a couple of years when I bought it. So it has papaya, it has tamarind, it has oranges, it has grapefruit. It has a whole bunch of trees that the person before had planted. And now I want to keep that going because it's a big land. My house is small, but the land is big. And I want to, be able to whenever I have a family, give them healthy food. Just because most of the food that are now in the supermarket, sometimes they have chemicals and things that they put in the food so it could, last longer. And, cancer rates are going high. And, it's just better that way. I actually renovated my bathroom because it's an old house. So when I took out the bathtub, but I didn't throw it out because I want to fill it up with
soil.
Soil.
Oh my God, that's a great idea.
So that I have like my own little space so that I can plant my tomatoes and all that. And I actually went a month ago to a festival. I do not know how to plant, guys. I'm learning. So I don't know the right words yet. But basically, I bought my little tomatoes, my cilantro. I even bought one of the main trees from Puerto Rico, which is the el flamboyant. which is the main tree in Puerto Rico. And I was so excited, guava, but I don't know how to know the seasons because Puerto Rico has hurricane season. Most of you guys heard about Maria, which is like the biggest hurricane that passed by, you know, in this last few years. And most of the agriculture, it was a big issue because Puerto Rico only has one port. So if there was ever, you know, God protect my island, but if there was ever to happen an earthquake or something, it only has one port. So if anything were to ever happen to that one port, there's no food coming in.
Right.
So I'm always pushing people, like I'm learning, I want to learn, I want other people to do it as well. But sometimes we have hurricane season where all the vegetables that people
It'll
grow,
wipe out the crop.
Yeah, the wind is so big that trees fall down, you know, and it's very hard. So what would you recommend for the, you know, islanders, from the people that are, you know, have hurricane season and stuff like that? Or which plants do you recommend maybe?
Well, you have to first learn your growing zone. So I'm not familiar with Puerto Rico, but
You guys need to come visit. Come visit.
not familiar.
I think
So what I would suggest is for you to visit any successful local farmers that you have in Puerto Rico, whether they are near you or a little further out. Maybe you want to go and visit them and get more information on how they go about growing what it is that you want to grow. And I'm sure they won't have any problem helping you learn that information. And then whatever universities or schools that you have in Puerto Rico, you can look into what they may have in terms of an extension office. And then you also can go to, let's see, you can try USDA.gov and see what they have for Puerto Rico.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was going to suggest too.
Go ahead, come on to the mic. Or you can come to your mic so everyone can hear what you're selling.
I did missions in Puerto Rico after Maria in Naranjito, and it was up in the mountains.
Yes.
And one of the things that I noticed was that, like she was saying, there were like no bees, no bugs, so your pollinators were gone.
Yeah, for a certain amount of time, they're back.
Yes.
They're back.
Back then, it was no, and so like the birds, they were saying fell from the trees when the trees fell over. So learning also environmental factors that would help protect the area where you are would also benefit, because in Naranjito where we were, the river flowed, so it was like mud, mold, a lot of damage that way, and then having to grow things that didn't require pollinators afterwards would
hard.
also benefit residents on islands that have a lot of hurricanes, because if you're only growing things that require pollinators like bees, or so if, like your tomatoes or squash or zucchini, then newbies trying to teach them hand pollination wouldn't work. But like lettuce or cilantro or things that grow like just greens would really benefit.
Yeah, in the
Right.
humidity. Oh, okay.
Right. And so trying to figure out also, like she was saying, learning your zones and things that
I had
affect.
no idea that there was zones.
Yes, all over the
Right.
United States. So your area where you're located is very important factor for you to know in terms of what it is that you're trying to grow and when to grow it.
Okay,
So, yeah.
perfect. Thank you guys
Yes.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else care to join in on conversation? Please come up to the mic. If not, I'm taking questions. If anyone have any questions about the pilot program or any questions for me. Yes, ma'am. Come on, you got to get on back up now.
I didn't even introduce. I'm Jerry from North Carolina.
Nice to meet you, Jerry.
And I'm a community health worker, very interested in your program. My program that I work under is grant funded, including my salary. So dollars don't flow in easily to our program. So how did you get funding for your program?
Well, my program, I actually was funded by Natural. So they were my fiscal sponsor for this year. I am given the task of sustaining my program because we don't know if my program is going to be refunded for next year through NACHWA, so I'm looking for other opportunities at sustaining what it is that I do through grant funding.
Hi, my name's Tara, and I'm coming from the Navajo Nation.
Nice to meet you.
Adding on to her issue in Puerto Rico, she could look up her local agriculture extensions. A lot of our USDA extensions here in the in the United States do have disaster resource funding. You could definitely look into that.
Oh, that's amazing. That's new to me. Thank you.
But I did have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
You're saying that this is a pilot program. Currently in my tribal community, I am helping our farmers, because I'm a farmer myself. We're developing a nonprofit. We're developing a farmers association, which we could have the possibility to have a community garden. And how did you get started on your pilot? Like, are you collaborating with any outside resources, like hospitals, organizations? And yeah, definitely, how did you get your funding?
So again, my funding came from NACHWA. They funded my first year of my pilot program. But yes, we did. Let's see. Let me go back. Can I go back? No. So I was trying to go back a couple of slides where you guys could see us in the actual garden. But I don't have my own personal land. And I don't have my own personal backyard with 1 million raised beds. But I did partner with a community garden that's being maintained by the UGA Extension Office in Fulton County. So that community garden was desolate, if you want to say. So it had a lot of grown up grass seed, a lot of weeds grown up because it hadn't been properly maintained. So once Fulton County hired some new A&Rs and they got people out to get the garden growing again, and they allowed me to come in and allow my team to assist with not only beautifying the garden, but actually helping us with the educational piece for my community health workers. So we, myself along with my community health workers, worked the garden. We took up several of their beds that was sponsored through my program to provide that hands-on experience for them. We built relationships with the A&Rs at Fulton County. I also sit on the advisory board for the Growl Community Garden at Fulton County. So I'm involved in the direction of the garden, and I got to meet a lot of the master gardeners. I myself am going to go through the master gardener program starting in January, and my community health workers that have been with me this year, if they want to continue, they can also go through that program as well. And then there'll be certified master gardeners, which is what I'm looking forward to, and that will increase their skill set surrounding gardening and growing their own sustainable food source, because that's the name of the game, sustainability. So that's what the building a network is very important. I tell people all the time, let your network be your best work, because the people that you're going to want to introduce yourself and know, that's your network. And I made a relationship with Food Well Alliance in Atlanta. They offer volunteer opportunities. If you, say for instance, if I was to get my own land and I wanted to create my own landscaping for my own community garden, that I will offer those services to community health workers and then individuals in the community. They would have volunteers to come out and help me do that. Okay. So they're a very vital and important piece in what it is that I'm doing. So I'm glad to be able to cultivate that relationship. Yes, ma'am.
Another question. One of the biggest things that I've been coming into is getting my community involved. What was the biggest influence to get your community involved?
The biggest influence?
Yeah, like how did you get them to, come out and work with you and, build their own community gardens?
Oh, wow. Well, I primarily work with community health workers in terms of the individuals on my pilot. But because of my affiliation with NACHWA and then my affiliation, I'm also on the Georgia CHW network. I'm the ambassador for the state of Georgia, so I have access to probably all, if not all, of the CHWs in Georgia, most of them. So I put out my flyer for my pilot, and those that were interested, I took in their information, but I can only take 6 people. So as the program expands, of course, I want to involve more community health workers. And through my community health workers, I was able to put out notification to community members. One of my community members, my community health workers that work with Centene, she works with a lot of clients that receive Medicaid for the state of Georgia. And so those clients, most of them, if not all of them, receive SNAP benefits for their household. And so they would benefit from a program such as this. So anytime we had classes, I offered classes to the community for my CHWs, then I would ask them, hey, invite your community members out. So anyone, any community member that any of my CHWs service through Morehouse School of Medicine, they would invite their community members out that they serviced to come to the classes. So it was basically through word of mouth and putting out flyers through my network of individuals that I have that didn't mind sharing the word and getting people involved.
Okay.
So your network is going to be your best work.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Denise. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri.
Nice to meet
home
you.
Home of the Chiefs. I'm just a little game called Super Bowl.
Okay, Chiefs.
Just,
Let's
just
go,
little.
Chiefs.
I just was curious on how did you find, what was the mind shift that you had to take the community members through? They're used to food desert or food swamp, we heard, and then to make that shift in their thinking, now let's go to, gardening, and how did you make that shift?
Well, I didn't really change anyone's mind per se. That just has to be something that they wanted to do themselves, right? I can't really sway anyone into eating healthy or, wanting to live a healthier lifestyle. That has to be something that they want to do. And then if I put out a notification that says, hey, this is what I'm doing, and they are interested, then they can get involved and they can learn more. And as they get involved and learn more, you'll begin to see if it's something that they really want to do, or if they were just curious or just interested, or if they're all in and they're participating regularly, right? So you'll get to see their level of dedication and commitment to the lifestyle, because that's what it is, a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle change. And with a lifestyle change comes a change in your mind shift. You got to change your mind first in order to change your lifestyle, right? So it has to be a shift within them initially, and then I can provide the resource to be able to feed that, nourish that interest and that change of lifestyle that they're looking for.
All right, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Anyone else? All right, that's it. That's all I got for you today. If you want to talk to me afterwards, I'll be available. I have some cards for anyone that wants to keep in touch with me. And you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. And I'm so glad you guys came out to my session today. And I look forward to NATRA Unity Conference next year and doing bigger and better things. Okay? All right. Thank you.